Karmaratmas. Yesterday we have seen the Judaism and Christianity. As per the Paramatma's instruction, every day one religious philosophy will be discussing. Totally about 9 religious philosophies will be covered in 7 days a week. In this respect, today we are going to discuss on the Hinduism. The Hinduism, the main scripture of mankind is the Bagavad Gita, Srimad Bagavad Gita. This is a Gita given by Lord Krishna to Arjuna before the start of Kurukshetra war. Though in Mahabharata, this is the event that has been described. Actually, in the spiritual sense and yogic sense, what it really means is Krishna is nothing but Paramatma inside us, and Arjuna is the Jivatma inside. And the Kurukshetra war is nothing but the war of our life. In Kurukshetra war, he said Arjuna is stand asked to keep the Radha in the midst of both the armies. One side his brothers, that is Pandavas are there, and his relatives. The other side is his Kauravas are there. Kauravas are nothing but their cousins. Cousins and their all the 100 cousins and their relatives and their people. So everybody are their relatives only. So everybody now standing in front of each other to send arrows against each other to kill themselves. What it really means in the yogic sense in our life is, in our day-to-day life, we come across people in our family, in our among the cousins, relatives, and in the people in our office, people in the school, students, friends, colleagues, everybody. At each and every event, we face these arrows in our life, and these arrows creates an impinge on our mind, on our buddhi, that reflects in the form of anger, jealousy, hatredness, sorrow, depression, dejection, everything. So like that, in the war of life, the arrows of event that we face in everyday life is the arrows that create a negative impact on our body, negative impact on our mind, and which over a period, when it get accumulated, that affect the cells in our body, which leads to various kinds of disease. So in the war of life, what we need to know from the Bhagavad Gita is, and we face every event, the Jivatma. Here in the war, if you see, in Kurukshetra war, the Bhagavad Gita, what it says is Krishna doesn't involve in the war. He just guides Arjuna to do the war. So Krishna is holding the five horses. This is nothing but our 5 senses. These are held by the wings from the horses. This is Buddhi, and Krishna is Paramatma. And Arjuna surrenders totally to Krishna, the Paramatma, and the Jivatma totally surrenders to Paramatma. He guides the 5 senses to move in the right direction and takes the Radha. Radha is not physical body. And the wheels are nothing but Kala Chakra. In our lifetime, when you totally surrender to God, He will guide these senses to move in the right path of attaining Jivan Mukti, in releasing our karmas. How? The arrows that we face, He gives a protection to us to face these arrows and give the right solution for each and every arrow. That's why Arjuna wins the Kurukshetra war with the support of Krishna. So like that in our life, whoever sends arrow on us, it may be a cousin, it may be a brother, it may be a sister, it may be anybody, whoever sends the arrow in us, what type of arrow we are going to face, how it is going to impinge our body, how it is going to impinge our mind, how it is going to disturb our peace, how it is going to create anger, jealousy, hatred, everything. The negative impact should be avoided. How we can possibly is by totally surrendering to Paramatma. That's why Arjuna totally surrenders to Paramatma. Please guide me to go. Similarly, when the Jivatma inside you, the Buddhi goes to Jivatma, and with the Buddhi and Jivatma, if we go and surrender to Paramatma in the Samadhi Dhyan, The depth of the silence inside you, you hear the voice of God. He will speak. He will guide you because He only knows what are your karmas, how to release this karma. This life has, you have taken this life. When you took birth in this life, you have brought certain karmas with you. And to release this karma, only this birth has been taken, and you get so many bondages of various atmas in this life, and you face various arrows. The arrows are the path through which you release karmas. When you totally surrender to Paramatma, He creates a shield and He protects you to face these arrows without getting any damage. That is, when you face the arrows, if you are ignorant, you create new events. The karma accumulates. To face that, again you have to face so many arrows. So first thing, you totally surrender to Him. How to surrender? How you have to make up your mind, the discriminate intelligence to go to a surrender. How to understand the events in life. This is how our mind reacts to various events. What is happening inside us? This what in Bhagavad Gita Lord Krishna explained to Arjuna. Why you are getting dejected? Arjuna says, what is the necessity to fight and kill my own cousins and relatives? The history will only hate us for killing our own brothers and sisters. So he gives up. That is better to give up and die or take sannyasa rather than fighting this war and killing our own people and ruling. What is the use? Even if you rule after killing everybody, you'll have a guiltiness. That's what Arjuna says, Krishna says. You don't need to have any guiltiness. You don't need to have any because you have come here only to do your duty. See the armies who are in the each side. Even if they get killed, they are getting physically they are getting killed, but mentally, as such, they say they are as a warrior fulfilling their duties. The body has got death, not the atma. When you have come to this world, you are not this body, you are atma. You have come to this world to release your karmas. That karmas can be released because atma cannot take on its own. It needs a body, physical body to release its karmas. Maybe this life, maybe very many further life also. It may need to release all the karma. But your focus should be only on doing your duties. As long as you do focus only on your duties without attachment, the karma start releasing. This is what Sri Krishna tells to Arjuna during the entire Gita Upadesam. So the first chapter is about how Arjuna gets depressed, how he gives up all his asasatra to make him to realize his duty. Lord Krishna explains from second chapter to 18th chapter various aspects of how the mind reacts to the events in life, when it faces various arrows in life, how to overcome it to lead a totally unattached life, to lead a peaceful, successful life to release the karmas and attain Jivan Mukti. That is what Lord Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is a very powerful yogic scripture of mankind. So in that, the second chapter is the first very important chapter. Here it says Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, both is mixed here. Communion through action, through knowledge. Communion through knowledge. First thing you should know, you should gain real knowledge about ourselves. That is very important for us to face the situations in life successfully. Contact of the senses with their objects, generate cold and heat, pleasure and pain. They come and go, being impermanent. Bear with them patiently. Lord Krishna says. Contact of the senses with the objects. There is cold and heat. The senses are the gateway of our Atma to face the events in life, the external world. So these senses, when it sees any object outside, this get contact with either outside objects or persons. When it get connected with the outside objects or persons, it perceives what is that. Your buddhi, the sixth sense of discriminating intelligence, perceives it. And the past experience of with this person, with this object, it gets already stored in the subconscious mind. Suppose a person has done bad to you. When you see the person, immediately your subconscious will tell what what bad he has committed, how much suffering you have faced. Then naturally the mind gets agitated. Automatically your buddhi gets excited. We get anger. So you want to take, you don't want to see him or you want to scold him. This is called cold and heat. It's heating. Cold means suppose you see a person who has done good to you. The subconscious says he has done good. Thank him. So here it will be cold. So depending upon the experience you face with the person with whom you are seeing, the mind get excited or dejected. So that will have an impact on the person with whom you are seeing. That create a guna in you. Hatredness, cunningness, crookedness, everything will come when they has the negative events. The negative experience with the person is reflected back on the subconscious mind. Similarly, if positive thing is reflected back on subconscious mind, you will be happy to see him, you show kindness, you can feel generous against him. So these kind of things happen. So cold and heat. But you should not get attached to both. What Lord Krishna said, they come and go. Each event, one event may good, one event may bad. The event, good event will give peace and happiness. Bad event give excitement, anger, jealousy. Both comes and goes because these good and bad things that is happening in our life is the path to release both good and bad karmas. You have come to only release these good and bad karmas. When everything is released, the account should become zero. That's why you say, don't get attached to anything. They come and go. Be impermanent. Nothing is permanent. You face the event, get anger. Immediately that event goes off. The anger goes off. But the effect of anger will remain inside you, in the subconscious mind. So, thing is, these are all, events are all impermanent. Don't get attached to it. Bear with them patiently. Whenever you come across situations where it creates you that see the person will get anger, jealousy, hatredness, remain calm. Realize the truth. This is a negative event which I am now facing. The reaction, negative, this is a negative reaction for the negative action already done by me. Let me be patient so that I will not get agitated, I will not create a new karma out of this reaction. Let me remain patient. So this is what Lord Krishna tells in this very first verse from the Bhagavad Gita chapter 2. So like that we will see many things about our own mind and how it reacts, which Lord Krishna has told in Bhagavad Gita one by one. Thank you.